sales tools can be found in the main tab, Sales. There are goods and services list, sales orders, sales receipts, sales invoices, incoming payments and counterparties list in this tab. The main sales documents are sales receipt and incoming payment. Sales receipt records the fact of release of the goods from the warehouse and the creation of a customer's debt for these goods. Incoming payment records the fact of the customer's payment for the goods received and the rights of the created debt. Quick Sales tool creates both sales receipt and incoming payment documents and establishes a link between them in invisible mode. You can also create these documents and a link between them in manual mode. To do this, create a sales receipt document in the system. The document can be created using the Create button, right-click Create, or More Actions button, Create. The buyer must be specified in the document. It can be selected from the Counterparties list. If it's not available in the list, you need to create it. If necessary, specify the in-charge person, the price type, and currency. You also need to indicate the warehouse from which the goods will be released. To add goods that will be sold to the buyer, you need to select them in the document from the Products list. Also, it is necessary to indicate the quantity of the goods, the price if it's not filled automatically, and other data. Any number of different goods can be filled in this table, but each item on a new line. After making all the necessary changes, you need to save the document. Attention! The saved document is a draft. Such a document takes no action. It is used to create records and save them for future reference. The document will perform the necessary operations and record its actions only after posting, clicking on the button Post. If a draft of the document is not needed, but it is necessary to immediately perform the actions of the document, then the document can be posted or posted and closed immediately. Sales receipt is done. By posting this document, the goods are released to customer from the warehouse and the customer owes the company money for these products. This debt can be paid off using the incoming payment document. With the help of this document, it is necessary to record any receipt of the money. To indicate in the system that payment was made by a specific buyer for a specific product, you need to create a document link between the sales receipt and the incoming payment. To do this, you need to use the command Convert to Payment in the sales receipt document. The system will create a document Incoming Payment and will transfer all data from the document Sales Receipt into it. The base document will be also specified in Incoming Payment. In this way, the system creates the link indicated earlier in the diagram. The amount to be paid will be transferred to the incoming payment from the base document. If necessary, you can indicate the cash box or bank account to which the money will be received. Like any other document in the system, the incoming payment must be posted in order to record the fact of the debt repayment. Now, the system indicates when, to whom, and what product was sold, and when and how much money was received. Sales process can be complicated by adding an invoice to the document link. In this case, the scheme of work by agreement with the buyer starts from the releasing of goods. Then the invoice for these goods must be issued, and finally the payment will be made according to invoice. The diagram of document links for such an agreement is presented on the screen. First of all, sales receipt need to be created and posted. Then convert the document to invoice by using a special button. All the data from sales receipt document will be transferred to invoice. If it is necessary, you can change the date of invoice creation and due date manually. Invoice must be posted, and after it the payment document can be easily created by using a command Convert to Payment. When the payment document will be posted, the system will create sales links according to this diagram. If, according to the agreement with the buyer, an invoice must be created first to implement the sale, create a sales invoice document in the system, then post it and convert to sales receipt. After it, you need to post sales receipt and convert it to payment. Finally, post the payment document. The reverse scheme is also possible. In this case, you need to convert the invoice to payment to record the fact of receiving the incoming payment, and then convert the invoice to sales receipt to record the fact of goods releasing. The sales process can also require sales order document. This document is used for recording and controlling goods or services ordered by buyer. While the sales order is not posted, you are able to create printed document quote and send it to your potential buyer. When the agreement with the buyer has been reached, the sales order must be posted. From this moment, sales order will manage the execution of order and there is no more need to create quotes, so the button quote will disappear. When the buyer first orders particular goods, then receives them with an invoice and finally pays money according to this invoice, the sales process diagram will be the following. To create such links, you need at first to create and post sales order, then convert it to sales receipt, post sales receipt and convert it to invoice, post invoice and convert it to payment. Finally, post the payment document. Attention! If the buyer received not the whole order, you need to delete the unreleased products from the sales receipt after converting sales order to sales receipt. The system will record that the order is not completed and will transfer only unreleased goods with the next sales order to sales receipt convertation. Using the Convert option, you can create any sequence of documents depending on the agreement with the customer and on the business process. Here is a diagram of all possible options for linking documents for the goods sale. See also purchasing video to understand how the workflow in purchasing works.